Good morning, and I'm Lenora Bresler. Welcome to the January 14th, 2017 edition of the Bible, Delight in the Details. As you know, we're in a multi-series about shepherding and how Jesus called himself the Good Shepherd and what that exactly means. We looked at Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, and realized that every single phrase of that beloved psalm is a shepherding term. Now we're looking at the specific things that Jesus said in John chapter 10 about being the Good Shepherd. Now there are two more things in this series that are important to note. Today's lesson and tomorrow's. So the series is coming to an end, but not the Bible Delight in the Details. That's going to go on indefinitely. Now, Jesus went on and on, as recorded in chapter 10 of the Gospel of John, talking about himself as the Good Shepherd. And one of the things that he spoke about at length was, "My sheep know my voice and follow me." Let's talk about what that really means. In the Middle East, even to this day, you can go and literally watch the truth of what Christ was talking about in action. Being a shepherd, as you know, can be a lonely, very active, very difficult life. And so, other shepherds are sometimes the only other people that really understand what it's like to do that kind of work. So, when the shepherds are out with their sheep, they oftentimes want to get together with other shepherds for a meal or to talk. So what they do to this day is they simply start walking toward each other, bringing their herds right with them or flocks right with them. They let the flocks intermix. And so while they're having luncheon, the sheep are intermixed, eating, and just relaxing. When it is time to go, the shepherds simply start to walk in opposite directions. And the sheep start to pay attention. You see, there's something very interesting about the anatomy of a sheep. They have extremely weak neck muscles. It is almost impossible for a sheep to lift its head up very high. So they cannot see very far. They cannot look up and see far distances. So how do they get around? They watch the feet of their shepherd. And they literally follow in his footsteps. Now, they also listen for his voice. Because as those shepherds separate and walk in separate directions, they start to talk. And the sheep hear their own shepherd's voice, and they voluntarily separate and follow their own shepherd away. Yes, sheep literally are led by the footsteps of their shepherd and by the sound of his voice. They obey. They follow him. What a beautiful metaphor for the real life. You know, we who are believers are in a world where there are other people who do not believe. We're intermixed with them. We love them and we work with them and enjoy their company. But there is going to be, at some point, a separation. We will follow our shepherd where he leads. And so, how do you know in this world where everybody claims to be something and who knows what their real agenda is and whether they're genuine, how do you know if someone is truly a believer of Christ? Well, according to Jesus, his sheep follow him. They hear his voice, know that it is him talking to them, and follow him in obedience. It's a beautiful and very appropriate metaphor for life in this world. I'm Lenora Bresler. Visit me tomorrow for the conclusion of this series on shepherding in the Bible. Delight in the Details. Have a great day.